I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This is a morning meeting, being 9 a.m. on the 25th. The primary reason for this is the board is obligated by a timeline to sign a contract for a study on 3 Milford Street. In order to meet that timeline, we have initiated this meeting. We have a couple of other things, but that is the primary driver for the meeting, so we can meet the contract deadline. Our next meeting will be August 8th because we are on a summer schedule, but as you can see, there are times where we have to break that and meet through for interim periods for other factors that come up. We will also be discussing motion for appointments to the Personnel Board. These have been pending for some time. The board feels it's time to take action on those. With 3 Milford Street, there will be a discussion on the Design Selection Committee that's presently in place, and to dissolve that committee and reappoint that committee as a feasibility building committee for the feasibility use of the building. We also, at the request of the membership of the Opiate Task Force, will be restructuring that committee or that group, and then we will be reviewing an eligibility for benefits policy where an employee of the town applied, and we went through a process to determine the legality of being able to comply with that, and I think we've met that. Then the board will be going in executive session under Mass General Laws, exception, Chapter 30A, Section 21, Exception 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining if the chair declares an open meeting will have a detrimental effect on the town's bargaining position. After conclusion of the open meeting and we go into executive session, we will adjourn from executive session and will not take up any other matters. That will be the conclusion of our meeting. Okay, have I missed anything, gentlemen? No. Okay. The first thing on the agenda is to discuss appointments to the Personnel Board. We have 2 candidates. Both of these candidates have had applications in for a period of time, and as the board has stated, through conversation with the town manager, we all feel that it's time to take action on these. I would turn it over to my next colleague, Gary.
I have nothing. There's 2 openings, we have 2 positions.
Do you have any comments on those?
I do not.
Okay, it is my understanding that the Personnel Board at different time, one candidate considerable time ago, but one more recently have been interviewed or have met with the Personnel Board. Am I correct?
One was very recent. Marcia was very recent. I understand Mr. Fisher met with the Personnel Board somewhere around a year ago.
Okay. Well, they have both met. And I think it's time to take action out of courtesy to the applicants. We try to encourage people to get involved in government, and there's no reason that we should delay this process if they're willing to serve. So at this time, I would entertain a motion, should the board wish.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we appoint Nathaniel Fisher and Marsha Kowalski to the Personnel Board for a term expiring May 2018.
Second motion.
That's a unanimous action of the board, and thank you. And thank you to the applicants for coming forward. We appreciate that. Now we have Milford Street. We have a design selection committee that's made up of 5 members. That committee has, for clarification, has asked us to, before we dissolve the committee for the feasibility appointment, that we leave that committee in place so they can legally comply with approval of minutes. So our motion may seem a little different in the sense that we're going to keep them in one position and then dissolve them to go into another, but the premise is the same. So, Gary, any comment?
No, sir.
None.
No? Okay, I'd entertain a motion.
Let's see if we get this one right. Mr. Chairman, I motion to dissolve the Design Selection Committee after their next meeting and reappoint James Brochu, Kelly McElroy, Camille Hamlet, Steve Rackerton, and Brett Simon to the 3 Milford Street Feasibility Committee.
I second the motion.
And that's clear, it's unanimous action, thank you. So they will, at the conclusion of their next meeting, they will be dissolved as a selection committee, and then they will go into feasibility, and that will be their next responsibility. We have the Opiate Task Force. The Opiate Task Force consists of, I believe, 9 members, and the problem is they've had a problem scheduling meetings to get the membership to all attend, and it's caused conflict with scheduling and compliance with the open meeting law. To meet that, they have requested that we reduce the size of the committee from 9 down to 5 members. We at our last meeting announced that it was our intent to do this, and that we would ask that anybody that wanted to stay on the committee would please come forward and state that it is their request to stay on. We do have 5 members that have agreed to stay on, and we think that's a more manageable study. Gentlemen, this time I'll go to you. Do you have any comment?
No, I don't, other than we obviously had a large number of members, so to pare it down to 5, I think it'll make it more usable.
I was a member of that, I believe. I don't know. I know former selectmen were, and the problem was we would meet, and out of 9, there'd be 4, then there'd be, so now with a member of 5, they can legally meet with 3 members, and that will make it easier for them, where before they needed 4 or 5. So, Gary, you have any comment?
No, it just makes it easier. Makes sense.
Okay, are we prepared to make a motion?
Yes, sir.
Please?
Mr. Chairman, I motion we appoint Chief Bradley, Janice Nowicki, Joe Maruschek, Amy Leon, and Kelly McElroy to the opiate task force.
Second the motion.
Wasn't sure if we needed a term expiring.
Yeah, we need to dissolve the other members. I'm sorry to do it that way. I should have mentioned it. It's my fault.
Yeah. Look up the names real quick.
Do you have the members on the previous?
Yeah, he has it up right here.
Yeah, could you state the ones that,
So it would be, we would dissolve Bob Fleming.
Yep.
Gary Doherty.
Yep.
Chief Aaron Goodale. Amy Leone.
no, she's staying on.
She's staying on. It's Kelly Graves.
Yep,
Al Holman.
yep,
Kristen Gauthier.
yep.
Michelle Cotton.
Mhm.
And the rest should be active.
Yes, so those members, for the motion, if that be a motion, those members will be will be removed from the committee at their compliance, so it's not construed any other way. That's his motion.
Second.
Unanimous action. Now we will take your motion, which was on the floor. Do you second his motion? for the
I
appointment?
second the motion.
And I'll make it unanimous. Okay, that was a little confusing, my fault. I should have stated that we needed to remove the other members, but dissolve them. And again, they were removed at their compliance. It was not the board's action. We have an issue where there was a employee of the town that there was some discussion relative to his compliance for eligibility for retirement for benefits policy. The board has taken some time because it was more convoluted than one would wish. And through council, we did get an opinion that states that this member is eligible for compliance. We, out of respect to the member and not stating their name, I don't think it's fair to bring up a personal issue and mention somebody's name, but I'd ask the board for public record, are you satisfied with council's ruling? Gary?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so therefore, it is, this board will go forward with the recommendation of council that this person is eligible for benefits policy. Okay, now we have is the contract available for,
CBI?
yeah.
Yes. And there's some information on CBI as well.
Okay, yes. We have a contract based upon the selection committee's recommendation with the company CBI Consulting Incorporated. They have been, based upon all the review, they find that this is the firm for the architectural and engineering design services that they find most satisfactory, and we would, it is the board's opinion, we will accept their recommendation and go forward. So first of all, we would need motion, and then we would sign for that. Yes.
If I could suggest, I think your motion would be to award the contract to CBI and authorize the town manager to sign.
Right. That's, I'm sorry, you're correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we award CBI a contract for $35,000 and authorize Mr. Reed to sign the contract.
Second the motion.
And that's unanimous. So it is all set. And we owe a deal of thanks to the selection committee for their work. They've done quite a bit of work already in a very short window of time. To be clear, it is the board's intent that in the October, a meeting scheduled sometime in October or at that period within the fall, that we would bring back to the voters their findings and for recommendations and action by the voter. There are a number of other things that will be worked on in that interim phase as well through their feasibility study. I know they have met with the library, the Council on Aging, and other groups to determine what the best usage for that facility would be, should the town be willing to go forward with it. So, we covered that. Gentlemen, do we have anything else?
I have 2 things for new business.
Please.
Both from the new town manager.
Yep.
You want me to just read them, or do you want to discuss them?
It's your floor.
The first one is Mr. Brzezzi would like us to approve him teaching part-time at Worcester State.
You have a problem with that?
No problem.
No, I don't think we need action. Could you clarify?
It's in the Town Managers Act, and he would just like our approval for him to take that job. So I'll just make a quick motion.
From what I understand, it would be Monday evening would be
Yeah, it'll be
the
Monday
timeframe?
evening, 6 p. to 9 p. Does it require a
Right.
motion? Yeah, so. Do
So-
you want a motion, or?
I don't think we need a motion. If the board approves that, I think that's acceptable. That was, also to be clear, that was on his application, and through the entire review process, it was made clear. Yes?
It states in the Town Manager Act for the board to vote, so did you want to make it formal or not?
All right, we will. Okay. All those in favor of allowing him, Gary,
You want to make a motion, or say just do it?
make a motion.
Mr. Chairman, in accordance with the Town Manager Act, the Board of Selectmen approves the public appointment of Derek Brzezzi as an adjunct faculty at Worcester State University during the spring and fall semesters, Monday from 6 p. to 9 p.
Second?
Second.
It's unanimous. The board has voted and acted. Okay. Thank you, Gary.
And then we have one more for him to be on the Massachusetts Public Health Council.
Same,
Yeah.
please.
In accordance with the Town Managers Act, the Board of Selectmen approves the public appointment of Derek Brzezzi to the Massachusetts Public Health Council. He was appointed in 2013. It's a 6-year term.
Second the motion?
Unanimous action. And while we're on that, not to embarrass anybody, but this is our last meeting with Mr. Reed. I want to publicly, on behalf of the board and the town of Upton, thank him. It's not easy when you step in a role and you're filling a role for a period of approximately 6 months, and you step into it and you inherited it all on day one, and you've done a great job, Bob. We know him as Bob now. He's Bob 1, I'm Bob 2. That's the way it just seems to go. I don't know why, but you've done an outstanding job, and we greatly appreciate your contribution. We hope that there's some way or somehow in the future you will still be involved with us in some capacity. We don't know how, but it might happen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would just say that it's been a pleasure working here. The board has been terrific, really. I'll even include Jim in that. And the people in the town hall and the boards and committees have been great. Sandy has just been invaluable, just filling me in on everything I need to do. But it's just really been a pleasure working here, and all of the people have been terrific.
Well, you've worked a full-time job with part-time compensation, so we certainly are appreciative of your dedication. And on that, So,
That's a happy clap, you're leaving.
Yeah, that's it.
on that note, effective in just over a week, Derek Brzezzi will be coming into the town of Upton as the town manager. I don't know about my colleagues. We are not allowed to discuss outside the meeting, but I did have, for public disclosure, I did have dinner with him one night in Worcester and spent 3 hours having a nice conversation. The ability to do that does not violate the open meeting law, because there's not a majority of the board there. It was just he and I, and we had a great conversation. The gentleman seems to really have a sense and awareness of the role and his responsibilities coming into this town. So I believe you've met with him too? Did you?
Yes, he,
I believe you're on the agenda to meet with him at some point. But he's really going to be an asset to this town. And in that note, we certainly want to thank the selection committee, working with our recruiter. It was a long process. Nothing happens overnight. I believe we started this probably sometime in January, and we feel that out of 77 candidates I think we had initially, we found the best candidate. Not to disparage the others. They were all competent, but he seemed to come to the top. So we're very pleased to have him in town, and at our August 8th meeting, he will be here with the board. I believe his first week here, he is going to just familiarize himself with the town, and at some point, we will have an opportunity for the citizens to come forward and meet him at some type of open reception here in the town hall. So have I missed anything, gentlemen?
No, sir.
You got it all?
Okay, and Mr. Reed's going to be able to play golf for the rest of the summer, so that's a good thing. Therefore, if there's no other action, I would motion that the board go into executive session under Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21, Exception 3, to discuss strategy sessions with respect to collective bargaining if the chair declares an open meeting will have a detrimental effect on the town's bargaining position.
Gary Darty, aye.
Steve Metelli and I.
Robert Fleming, aye. We are in executive session. Thank you very much.